Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and this is a cop car, sort of. This is the Chevy Caprice PPV. It was never sold to the general public. It's got a 6-liter V8, and it loves to do burnouts, but the 355 horsepower that it came with was not enough for this owner. He sent it down to AI Design in New York. If you don't know AI Design, they're the fellows who built Alex Roy's Polizei 144. So they know a thing or two about cop cars. Before I show you under the hood, which you're gonna wanna see, let's take a quick look inside. We have this awesome center stack. That all has to be purchased and developed after the fact. And we have a whole bunch of lights. We're gonna go through that. Some of those are probably less than legal. But these things are wicked bare bones. There's not much to them. And it's surprisingly spacious back here. This would be a very good, simple daily beater. And because it's like an extended wheelbase Holden Commodore, these doors are really big. It's basically a limo with independent rear suspension. This is fun. You'll notice all of the antennas. That's probably going to get me in trouble today. I'll have to try to explain my way out of that if it happens. But first, let's start it up. I want to show you under the hood. The world's slowest gauges, all the way over, all the way back. The beauty of these cars is that they're basically so robust you can just sit and idle with them forever. This one was never actually an active duty police car. It's tough to source them without being beat. But you might notice there's some extras under here, yeah. AI Design worked directly with Callaway, and Callaway came and built a supercharger specifically for this car. Oh my goodness, this looks so cool. Honestly, look at the way this drive belt goes to the supercharger. I could not be happier. So now it's making 525 horsepower, at least to the crank. We'll find out in a minute. We've got a police scanner and a CB radio. Down here in our center stack, we've got our front light bar, our rear warn, so, you know, if somebody's tailgating you, you give them a little flash. And the takedown. Let me show you the takedown. So under each of the wheels, we've got some strobes. Not going to be using those on public roads. That's probably very illegal. We've got our headlights, we've got our light bar, blinding even in the daytime. And then around back, these bad boys, just to let them know. Let's turn all of those off so I don't get arrested. You'll also notice, even though we have that big old supercharger up front, you hear it whine, but it's not a loud V8. That's because I think the original mufflers are still in place. The exhaust is modified only up to that point, so it's not obnoxious. These seats are kind of funky because they have power adjustments for up and down, but they have manual adjustments forward and back and leaning forward and back. Kind of interesting. First thing you got to do, turn off traction control. Then we pop her into sport mode. And then we do a burnout. Oh my God. These steel wheels are wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. I didn't know you could get them in a 50 profile, but apparently you can. There's a healthy bit of cosplay that goes into driving a car like this. Just because, I mean, most of the charm is the fact that it's a cop car. With all the noises that I'm getting, I've got to say, it's a little weird to not feel paddles under my fingertips on the steering wheel. When you're just trolling around, it doesn't look like much to anybody on the road other than, oh, that's an undercover cop car. You gotta pedal it. She scoots. We've got the brakes to back it up. We're only on 235s in the rear, so when you do lean into it a bit on this Roots type supercharger, yeah, it sends torque there pretty quickly, and it's gonna let go. The suspension has a lot of ride height, and it's got a lot of compliance, but it's also really well damped. I get the confidence of driving like an Audi all-road while I'm in this thing. There's something really special about a little bit of body roll and sidewall squirm. Definitely a pursuit vehicle. Sport mode with the downshifts. Did not ask for that. Just a couple days ago, we were driving a Cannonball car, that F90 M5, that's at a 2557 with no COVID lockdowns. And the car, other than the fact that it was debadged, it was just an M5. There's nothing really that intimidating about it. It's just a white sedan. Whereas with this is more in the spirit of Cannonball when you're dressing up a little bit. You're kind of a decoy. I think we can pull up behind people and they'll get out of our way. Let's test it out. That's a lot of torque. Are people intimidated by the PPV? Apparently not. Maybe this is why so many people get pulled over. They just hog the left lane in front of a cop. The ultimate test to see if this actually looks like a cop car is just to park on the side of the road. Just pull over, park, and check Waze. See if anybody reports you. Tall gearing. You don't get a sports car out of it, that's for certain. But because you've got all this extra torque now, it's okay. To be honest, the thing I'm most impressed with by this car is the fact that it's rock solid. I mean, seriously, it handles fine, it's great, but it's just, it feels like it's honed from one piece of metal. Part of the charm of these vehicles is that you get the column-mounted shift lever. That's not something you really find on vehicles today. If you remember back in the day, I know my mom had an Oldsmobile Delta 88, and you'd pop it into drive on the column. And then even before that, you'd have 3 on the tree actually shifting on the column. And although we gotta keep this center stack, it would be cool if this engine were made into a 6-speed manual. But the idea of this is just to have kind of a lazy drive around thing that can also do monster burnouts and well over 155 miles an hour. This guy gets in the way a little bit. I can't see everything I would like to see because of that, but I think I can get over it. Having a searchlight's pretty fun. And the fit and finish in the cabin is incredible. Of course it's incredible. It's AI designs. They don't mess around. And I've got to say, it feels pretty special to be driving something that not only is just a fleet vehicle and not really for average public consumption, but a Callaway supercharger that is pretty much a one-off for this car. This is not a Callaway kit. This was specifically designed for this car. It thinks it's December 2nd, 2014. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Listen to the supercharger whine, though. Really pulls the red line. That's no joke. If you wanted, you could open up this exhaust quite a bit, make it super loud, then you'd have that beefy chop. But, you know, that's not the point. You don't see cop cars coming up and chopping along like that, so why would you ruin the appearance with the sound? And with these 50 aspect ratio tires and a pretty meaty suspension, you can just drive over everything. I think we totally missed the point with some of our sports cars or our sports sedans. We put 19-inch wheels on them with little skinny tires. Or if you're Audi, the RS6 has like, what, 21s on it now? So ridiculous. You can't drive that on normal roads. There's no point. Whereas with this, we can actually go out and enjoy the vehicle. We can hit the potholes in the winter, the frost heaves, and everything's gonna be okay, including all of the cargo on board. You've got to be mindful while you're driving it though, because if you do drive close to somebody, you're probably just intimidating them, which in some cases can be very entertaining. But in most cases, you shouldn't really be doing that, so we'll back off just a little bit so as to not scare this person. But the other problem with a car that looks like a cop car or an FBI vehicle, people drive slow because you're there. So although it may feel like, hey, cool, I can go and drive anywhere, maybe they'll get out of the left lane. When you're on a road like this, in this vehicle, if the speed limit is 35, you bet your ass you're going 35 because whoever is in front of you is not gonna be speeding. If I had to guess, this Subaru would probably be doing about 50 on this road if I was not hanging out right behind him. On the brakes, yeah, there's no way he would be going this slow. We'll give him a sigh of relief. He's like, oh, thank God. seriously, I got a lift. The Pilot Sport 4S's boogie. I love the way these cars handle. When I was younger, I remember renting a Chevy Impala, just a front wheel drive, nothing special Chevy Impala. It was so much fun. And it's fun because you can stand on the brakes, lift up that rear end, toss it in, get a little oversteer, and plant your foot back on the floor. With this is like the Chevy Impala rental car of my dreams. They handle really well. They have great weight transfer. There's a lot of suspension travel, which I find quite entertaining. Hello, gentlemen. Overall, there's two things I really love about the PPV. Number one, it's a really bare bones daily driver that you can just use. It's not gonna break. You can't break this. This was designed to do like 200,000 miles on a police force and just idle forever. You're not gonna damage it. But number two, I like the idea that it's very tunable. I mean, yeah, maybe this isn't exactly a supercharger that I can go buy and put on here. Even without it, a naturally aspirated 355 horsepower, 6-liter V8, I'm okay with that. That sounds like plenty. But just beware, yes, on the highway, people will get out of your way in the left lane when you look like a cop. However, on back roads, 30-mile-an-hour back roads, guess what? Anybody in front of you is now going 30 miles an hour and you're along for the ride, unless you get a passing zone. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive. Thank you to AI Design for building this beautiful thing. Thank you to the owner for letting me drive it. It feels appropriate to end this video the way it started, with a burnout.